young Beardy's picking up Rewalt.
Lenny Hayes, of course, the captain of the Saints this afternoon. Robbins alongside him. As we wait with great expectation to see what round one brings St Kilda and the Kangaroos. Porter doing the ruck work today in the absence of Burton. Already a free kick for a high tackle. And Simpson, who got so much of the ball last year, combining already with Grant. As the Kangaroos going to attack Rawlings, who's had a promising pre-season. Petrie, the flyer, at the back. Brown cleared the path. Harding pounced. Will he be online to start season 2003? Yes, he is. Great start, Roos. Lee Harding, we saw him pounce on the footy so much last year. He is a real player.
Oh, I love the way he plays. His leg speed is first class. Very hard to match up on, and had a very good season last year. And what about this start? Really, at 15 seconds into the first quarter, he kicks his first goal, and the first goal for the Kangaroos of the season.
Well, that's a massive task for young Xavier Clark to play on Lee Harding. I find that extraordinary. Chriso?
Yes, it certainly is a very interesting mood. Very interesting move indeed. And the other big one, Penny at half forward, up in the ruck. Capuano gets it down now. Change for the Saints. Taken though by Simpson. Kick inside, attacking 50 at the back. Brown, a chance almost. Spectacular one-hander. Clark delivers to half-back. Mark taken by Moyle. Loose player over the top. Capuano. A couple of runners inside, ignores that and kicks to Burke, who's marked on the wing. Gets on with it quickly. Good run provided by Thompson, but the handball just didn't quite get to him. Couldn't control it.
We spoke about Fraser Garrick in the preview. He has started at centre half back. He's picking up Morrell.
Beautiful conditions today at the MCG. We know that they are different conditions with that gaping hole where the Ponsford stand used to be, but it's pretty still at the moment. Moyle and Aussie Jones, the Saints will look to build up from him this afternoon. Just finding it a little slippery out there on the wing, and already players coming from everywhere forcing the bounce.
Anthony Stevens is being picked up by Thompson. Both playing in the midfield.
So right on the wing, Burton and Capuano eluded both of those. Hayes with the tap. Colbert, who's a little underdone coming into this match, I think with just one game in the pre-season. But the Roos manufacturing something makepeace. He's going to run all day off Milne. You'll expect to see that. Streaming forward off the left. He's got Morrell away.
Great kick.
Simpson's back on his own in the goal square, but Morrell will know that he's within range. And the Saints, just at the moment, it's very early, I know, but just looking a little rattled there as the Roos went forward in a hurry.
Spot on with your calling, Hutto. That's what Makepeace has to do. He has to bring Milne up the ground, run him off his feet, and exactly what he did on that occasion, and also to find Morrell on his own.
Well, Digby Morrell in 19 games last year, kicked 24 after coming off the rookie list onto the senior list. He bagged 5 in one game. He starts today a little away to the left. And it's a behind, so the Kangaroos have done all the scoring so far, 1-1-7, and the Saints yet to score.
Fullback Jones. Kick short. Lead provided by Burke. Great to see Nathan Burke back for St Kilda, of course. Second knee reconstruction in 2 years. Black at half-back. Kicks out wide. Penny, a surprise starter at half-forward this afternoon for St Kilda. Marks. Of course, Gehrig playing at half-back. Kick towards Rewalt. First chance for the young champ. Oh, gee, it was mobbed. Rawlings kicked it away. Luckily lands in the arms of Teague. Handed it off. Shocking kick by Robbins. Mark taken by Hayes. That was courageous. Wants to get on with it. Handball. Moyle. Jones. Spots a player out wide. Capuano. Probably just too far out to score, Matthew Capuano. Saints need an early goal.
Sorry, Chris O. Rewald in trouble with the trainers. He's just escaped now, and he looks okay all of a sudden.
Short kill, loose marking. Now, I think you mentioned, Steve, that Anthony Stevens was the one picking up Thompson. Well, Thompson all by himself inside attacking 50. So a chance for the first score of the match of the season to St Kilda. Need an early goal just to settle some nerves. From 45, he kicks and misses. Only behind to Andrew Thompson.
Well, I guess the two surprise moves for the game is Lee Brown starting up forward for the Kangaroos and Luke Penny up forward for the St Kilda Footy Club.
Yes, Swars with the job on Brown out of the goal square. Gehrig at centre half back on Digby Morrell, as you mentioned, Chris. So Petrie, the other key forward for the Kangaroos as they sort themselves out. This is Baird. David King leads to the other side, but he's going for Petrie. Good target too. A couple of Kangaroos, they could have raffled it, and he looks a great size. He's 19 now, and he's played a couple of seasons under his belt. And Drew Petrie looks like he's ready to make an impact at AFL level.
Yes, and being picked up by Maxie Hutchton. See Fraser Garrick, big season for Fraser. St Kilda's season will be very much determined on the way he also plays this season.
Good work over the top again from Petrie as the third man in. Robbins was playing for a free. Stevens shoveled it out. Lenny Hayes, that poise we came to enjoy so much last year. Power with his first touch in the new jumper. Gets it to half forward. But Porter, who's liking to play across as the loose man in defence or the extra man behind play. Enjoying that. Simpson down. Moyle's been busy early, got plenty of it, as is Thompson. And they combine well back to Powell. He's penetrating, but there's three surrounding Rewald. And he did that well. He waited the kick. He's got the man Milne, who's inside 50. Stephen Milne away with the left. And he knows where they are. Scores tied at the MCG, 117 apiece. He hasn't lost his goal set, Steve.
And what about the vision there, though, by Powell? He saw Mill on his own there. Well, did the right thing. He was never going to kick that goal from outside 50. Took his opponent on and slotted it straight through. Smart play.
Gee, it's exciting, isn't it? Stephen Milne, when he gets the football, just attacks it. And great stuff from the youngster. Great goal from Stephen Milne. And he's lost none of his excitement of season 2002. Just taking on the defence. Porter up high. Capuano was smart. Kicks inside, attacking 50. Here comes Rewalt. Can he control it? Now a chance for Milne. He can't pick it up. Well played by Makepeace. Dangerous handball. Across his own defensive goal square. Rawlings.
Clever kick.
Sinclair. Loose player on the southern wing. Simpson. Now he's got Robbins running in support. Back to Simpson. Chance for the Kangaroos. They build. Inside attacking 50. Hudson going up. Affects the spoil. Brown tries to get it out. King tries to crash his way through. Can't. Now a chance for Harvey. Couldn't quite pick the football up. Colbert. Now Harvey. Thompson. Good improvisation. Spotted Birkin out of the corner of his eye. Now Nathan Burke. Loose player at half forward. Great kick. Jones from 35. Kicks it. Ozzie Jones kicks St Kilda's second goal. And the Saints in front for the first time this afternoon.
And really set up by three of the St Kilda old-timers there. We see Thompson get it out to Burke, who was out on the wing all by his own. He had the presence just to steady and survey what was up forward. Ozzie Jones, who came down the ground, was able to mark that ball and kick a goal.
What a spirited recovery by the Saints after the Roos kicked the opening goal. And they've really looked fired up in the last couple of minutes.
Gee, Nathan Burke was sensational on that exchange there. Just tying the football up hard and tough. And St Kilda missed that last year.
Well, but both you guys touched on it in the opening. I mean, a lot of focus on the young kids at the Saints, but if Harvey and Burke can be anywhere near their best of previous years, it's going to be a massive bonus for the Saints.
Certainly is.
Now, Grant Thomas, I'm sure, would be very pleased with proceedings so far. After a minor hiccup at the start, the Kangaroos having the first two scoring opportunities of the game. A lot of players around the ball. Massive congestion at the Saints. Young Luke Ball, who's going to play, or is playing, his first game after being picked up at number 2 in the draft a couple of years ago. The Roos forward, Morrell the target, and did well. Reading it nice. He's got Harvey's broken away at centre half forward. Sinclair calls him in. And Brent Harvey, his first opportunity to not only have a mark and a kick, but also to shoot a goal for season 2003. So among the early possession winners. Moyles had 4 for the Saints and Aussie Jones 3.
There's every chance this might drop short. Of course, the stand not being there.
Well, he gives it a fair whack, and he's made the distance comfortably, but it's swinging back. Not enough for behind.
St Kilda bring it back in. Mark taken by Hudson, halfback, kick short. Moyle, Thompson from halfback, delivers towards half-forward. Watt did brilliantly, just eased Penny underneath the football and was able to drop back, take an easy mark in the end. Kangaroos bring it out of their defensive zone. Oh, poor kick, chance again for Thompson. Harvey, advantage played. Hayes, clever. Inside support provided by Powell. He's made a difference already, Stephen Powell. A raking kick, Rewalt. Oh, brilliantly done by Baird. Going to be a great duel through the afternoon. Rawlings under Simpson. Kangaroos bring it methodically out of their defensive zone to King. Kick, oh, well played, Clark. Well, you don't see too many players end up in front of Lee Harding, but Xavier Clark did on that occasion.
Well, certainly in terms of the matchup, Steve, Clark's got the pace to go with Harding, isn't it? It'll just be interesting as a small defender whether he's tight enough.
Well, that's right, but also I like the fact that it's a youngster against a youngster. He's given him a bit of challenge there, and really has the game to try and beat that contest.
Swartz getting it in quickly. Rewald and Powell, as you said, he's made such an impact so far. Milne wanted a free kick. He's not going to get one. Right in front of the Saints. Fans down there. Let's check on the conditions as we have a look at the replay with Christy Moldhouse.
The wind is pretty mild down here at the moment. It's probably favouring St Kilda at the moment, which is obviously the opposite end of the big gaping hole. But it is quite deceiving because apparently kicking goals is really tough with the wind in these conditions.
Hudson has lots of Kangaroos back in defence. Colbert from the side. Good run at it. Help from Watt. And the ball going back over the line and out of bounds again. So 5 points to lead to the Saints so far as we approach the halfway stage of this opening term.
Just watching Nick Rewald here, he's gone up to centre half forward, hasn't had much of the ball up at full forward, might just be getting himself into the play a little bit.
Stevens missed it, Baker. Kick inside by Milne. It's all Kangaroos, Colbert.
We saw a shot of Rocker a minute ago, Steve. Would Dean Lately be thinking about getting him on soon?
I'm sure, well, he's a little bit underdone. He might just let the pace go out of this game a little bit and just use Rocco as a bit of a shock factor up forward.
Kangaroos work it out through Harvey to Harding. Got it a long way from goal, Lee Harding. Exciting player on the scene last year. Kicked 6 goals against the Cats in round 18. Really stamped himself as a promising footballer. Kick to half forward. St Kilda, Gehrig stands his ground.
It was a 3-on-1 contest. Poor decision.
Play on. Oh, another shocking kick from Gehrig. Puts them under pressure. Might be turned out all right for the Saints. The dynamic Jones. He's got the lead from Mill. Ignores that. Kicks towards Rewalt. He punches it on. At the 4. It's all Kangaroos again. Rawlings relieves the pressure. Saints with the numbers. Oh, spectacular leg by Powell. Almost thrown out by Baker. Powell again. Uses Hayes inside. Has he got the speed to get away from King? He hasn't. Great tackle. He's been pinged. Free kick to David King.
So there's a bit of spirit in this game at the moment as these two sides, both of them with plenty of young players, just feel each other out. Powell's had an impact for the Saints, as we've mentioned a number of times. And Big Porter taking the grab for the Kangaroos. Simpson's had 7 touches in his normal unobtrusive fashion for the Saints. Shannon Grant, who are expecting big things from this year, his 3rd possession coming up. He's got a short option in Stevens. He's got Petrie leading for him at centre half forward. That's where he goes. Robbins there as well. Petrie went for it, couldn't take it. Ready to swoop. Jones pumping it in quickly. He's got position. Penny, 1, 2, not quite. Milne to swoop again. He once again aligns himself in the major area. And Stephen Milne kicks his 2nd of the afternoon. Great start by the little live wire. And St Kilda 3-1-19. The Kangaroos 1-2-8.
And I guess that's what happens when you bring the ball into the midfield and you don't hit your target. I think it was Shannon Grant who brought that in. St Kilda just rebounded, brought the ball down the middle of the ground, and who was there? Stevie Milne to kick his 2nd goal.
So Stephen Mill, 2 goals in the opening quarter. He was St Kilda's leading goal scorer last year with 50. He started well. Thompson out of the centre, scrambles it forward inside, attacking 50. Oh, almost the mark. Well played by Harvey. Burke from 45. He steadies off a step. Misses. Well, they look exciting when they move forward. The only player really not making a contribution at the moment is Rewalt. And Luke Ball just about to come onto the ground. In fact, he has his first senior game for St Kilda.
Makepeace got the job ahead of him today. He's watching the dangerous Milne, who started with 2 goals. Simpson another touch. Sinclair off half back to half forward. David King steadying things down. He's got Harding breaking away. Charles has got the pace to go with him. Good spoil from Charles, who's fought back after the early goal for Harding. Well played. I was calling him Charles Clark. Charles, of course, a former Saint. It's only early. This is Rewald swinging into Aussie Jones. He's got Burke there and plenty of targets. Baker the other one. And Baker has plenty of targets himself. Capuano does know how to kick a goal, Matthew Capuano. He didn't leave anything behind on that one, and he may have just been able to sneak it through. He has. He gave it everything, and Matthew Capuano, against his old team, has given the Saints a very handy 18-point margin.
And it really should give Matty Capuano a bit of confidence, but what about the effort of Xavier Clark? He held his feet in that contest against Harding and was able to set up the drive from their half-back line that created this goal.
Xavier Charles, as they called him.
Great start by the Saints. Porter gets this one down. Kangaroos try and work it through. Robbins, Sinclair, Simpson, and now Grant. Kick out wide. Harvey, who runs so hard, has marked it on the wing. Well, he wants to go short. In fact, he handballs back to Rawlings. Kick to half forward. King outnumbered, almost, not quite. Moyle, well tackled. Blake tried to get it through to Burt, intercepted by Teague. Robbins again, now King. They kick it inside, attacking 50, the Kangaroos. Running hard for it, Clayton, that's Jeremy Clayton in his first game. Now a chance for Sinclair. Morrell from 40 on the left boot, drills it through for a goal. And the Kangaroos have their second, Morelli's first. And after kicking the first goal of the match, the Kangaroos desperately needed that one because it had been all St Kilda since then.
Oh, spot on, Chris. So this goal very important. They'd only kicked the 1 goal, and to get this one late in this first quarter, left-footed too. Super goal from that distance.
Well, it's been a very entertaining start. No question about that. We're in for a good game of football.
So Porter again against Capuano. Both players leaping pretty early there. Powell, Baker trying to hack it out of the middle. Hayes, second effort was fantastic by the Saints, but buffeted away. Black, Simpson put terrific pressure under, but Harvey was the man to stand up. Once again combining with Aussie Jones. That was a little ambitious, the kick. Moyle charging through.
Well
King kept it alive, but there were Saints ready to pounce. Good battle there between Sinclair and plenty of vicious tackling. Too vicious, the umpire said. And the man coming up with the free is Baker.
Rewald has moved out to centre half forward.
He's got a man out very wide, but it's Blake who's come off the bench. Certainly a long way home. Clark, who's pushing up the ground to put the pressure on Harding, testing his defensive skills. That time at least he was able to put some pressure back on, and now Shannon Grant can release Stevens on the other side of the ground, and the Roos are away. This is Big Lee Brown. He's got Rawlings, and now the lead from Jeremy Clayton. He's on for his first touch, and he did pretty well under pressure, just couldn't keep it in, and the ball over the line and out of bounds. So 6 minutes remaining in the opening term.
Well, we just see disposals per goal. St Kilda 15 and Kangaroos 29. Well, St Kilda are much more direct. We've seen that through the play, and Kangaroos really struggling down the corridor of the ground.
Petrie, a deft touch down towards Rawlings. Now Shane Clayton a chance. Not going far, the Kangaroos. Simpson to Robbins. Now Shane Clayton again, under pressure. Kicks it to half forward. Hudson almost. Perhaps should have made a better effort. Petrie a snap towards goal. It's bouncing. It's bounced through. Drew Petrie kicks the Kangaroos' third goal, and the margin is back to 6 points, and a good comeback by the Kangaroos to, Steve, what will be perhaps the non-scoring end in this match.
Well, no doubt they've struggled to kick goals, but here they've just worked, they've kept the ball going forward, and this one here rolling through the goal square open, and that's what the Kangaroos just have to do, just keep working, and the result will come.
Now the bounce favoured Capuano there. Robbins coming through. Hayes. Black starting to find the footy. Moyle. He stayed out on the wing. It was a wise decision as it turns out. He's got a man on. Penny with the chance. Good body back work back there by Shannon Watton. Great support from Makepeace. Looked a little sloppy, but he knew what he was doing all the way and got it over the boundary line.
Well done by Penny. He just created that throwing contest, and it will give St Kilda another chance just to put the Kangaroos under a bit of pressure, really only 10 metres out from goal.
Just over 5 minutes remaining in a very entertaining opening quarter. The Kangaroos kicked the first goal, the Saints kicked the next 4, but the Saints attacking now, leading by just a goal. Milne looking for his third. No one in the square, unbelievably so. And Milne's got 3. What a start for Stephen Milne in 2003. And we know what a confidence player he is.
Oh, it's a super start by Milne, but we go back to that tackle that Luke Penny did. It created this throwing contest, gave St Kilda another chance at goal. It was a contest close to goal. The Kangaroos defenders just feel the pressure a little bit, and Milne was able to snap that up and kick his third.
Great start by Stephen Milne.
Just at the bottom of the screen when the score disappears, you'll see Daniel Wells, who's just come on the ground for his first game, number 8 for the Kangaroos.
Powell, who's been tough. Capuano, can he get his kick away? He can. Only as far as Rawlings. Loose player out wide. Harvey again making position. Now he's confronted by Hayes. Well played, Hayes. Got a favourable bounce, but did the right thing. Attacked the football. And Lenny Hayes, of course, captain of the Saints this afternoon. The absence of Aaron Hamill. As we look at Daniel Wells. He's had a very good pre-season, and we're all looking forward to watching Wells play. Capuano gets it down. Oh, Hayes gave it up to Shane Clayton. Kick towards half forward. Going back, Schwartz. Fist from Hudson. Now Clark. Oh, he fumbled. Brown. Now a chance for Grant. Out wide. Support by Petrie. Wobbles the kick towards full forward. At the back, a chance for Wells. Can he get his hands on the football? Close to the line. Handball back. Chance for Harding. Oh, confronted by Hudson. Well played, Harding. Stood his ground and will get a ball up.
Terrific play by both players there. Just both attacking the ball and also the tackle there. Exactly what both coaches would like.
Kangaroos in attack. Petrie, double-handed. No one there. Capuano was meant to go up against him. Hudson. Burke started the game very well. Been a little bit quiet the last 10 minutes. Nathan Burke. Milne on the lead. Well played, Makepeace. Support from Thompson. Well played. Milne again. Now a chance for the Saints. Rewalt, can he get his hands on the football? He can, but he can't control it. Boundary throw in.
Just the one touch so far for Nick Rewalt, so plaudits for John Baird in this opening term. There's the Kangaroos bench still.
Steve, is it worth putting Rewalt into defence, perhaps gearing up forward just to get him into the game?
They may do that probably in the second quarter. He has come up to centre-half forward. He just needs to settle a bit and just work his position.
Positive signs for the Saints, I guess, if they're doing so well without him at the moment. Clayton's kick. Morrell was the target. Blake helping out. And he's got Moyle. Now there's a whistle there. Advantage was going to be paid, but it's going to come back. I think just a little one across the shoulders. And Jeremy Clayton, you can see number 43 for the Kangaroos. It was a late inclusion today for Spider Burton.
Just the possession winners at the moment. Rawlings has had 10, Simpson 10. Aussie Jones has had 7 for the Saints.
Very short, the Saints going out of defence on this occasion. Back to Blake again as the switch of players on to Maxie Hudson. Petrie got there, put the pressure on. Wells did very well. Harding can pop it over the top into an open goal. Morrell didn't want to play on, and I think he made the right choice as it turned out as the cavalry arrived.
Yeah, no doubt he made the right choice. Didn't need to put anyone under any more pressure. He was only 20 metres out for goal. He needs to go back steady and make sure he kicks this one.
Well, he does need to make sure he kicked it. We saw what could happen last night in front of goal. He started with a behind, then he kicked a lovely left foot goal.
There's a shot from behind.
So straight into the construction zone. He starts it wide and he doesn't get it back in, and that is a very, very disappointing result for Digby Morrell.
St Kilda just kicking across the ground there, and Hudson wasn't free. Oh, shocking kick coming in. Morrell will snap a goal. He has. So Digby Morrell, I think the kick came from Jones, and the Fremantle players go to him just to let him know as we watch it again. Oh, well, it's one of those situations where you just want to dig a hole and bury yourself, Steve.
Ever done one of those, Chris O?
No, thankfully.
Remind me of the Richmond fullback who kicked that into Jason Dunstall all those years ago out at Waverley Park, that one. But an absolute gift for Digby Morrell, 32-27, with a couple of minutes to go before the end of the opening quarter. And those sort of mistakes can be so telling in a game. I mean, an obvious statement to make, but the Saints were looking at taking a couple of goals lead. I wonder if they can get it back. Harvey and Thompson, good battle there, and Thompson doing well around the ground. Harvey of the St Kilda kind gets it to full forward. Baird trying to help out, and he read it well. Makepeace as the Kangaroos control it through Brent Harvey, and now Sinclair. He waited, he had plenty of space in front of him, could have gone to Clayton, instead goes to Robbins, had to wait for it to bounce, a bit tricky, and they just overdid it a bit, the Saints there. Schwartz, ball gets his first touch, and the Saints also overusing it. Brown leaving it behind. Hayes so clean with his possessions. Oh, Ball, how's that for composure? His first kick for the Saints to full forward, almost resulted in a goal. Not quite. They're behind.
Gee, laid a great tackle on Capuano in the centre of the ground too, Luke Ball. That was a sensational piece of play.
Just one aspect of the St Kilda's play that's been outstanding. They run through the middle of the ground. They certainly are running the ball through the corridor, which has given themselves every chance to find a forward and also kick goals.
Close to quarter time. Bear just chips to the pocket. What? As we're inside the final minute of playing this opening term.
Good pressure by the St Kilda defence, or forward line I should say.
Kick towards Petrie in front. Good spoil coming from Brooks on the ground. Chance for Harvey, little fumble. Sinclair. Robbins clever. Teague now. Kick towards half-forward. Chance now for the Kangaroos to kick a goal before quarter time. Garrick needs to be clean with his hands. Well, he is. Gets it away to Schwartz, who's got some time in half-back, or has he? Jones, who's been destructive in this opening quarter. Despite that mistake he made just a few moments ago. Thompson at half-forward. He's running out of time, Andrew Thompson. Needs to get it inside attacking 50. Chips on the lead. Rewalds. He's taken high, no free kick. Chance for Powell. He can kick a goal. He does on quarter time. Stephen Powell. Oh, the Saints got out to an 18-point advantage. Kangaroos hit back, but that goal right on quarter time gives them a 12-point advantage. And I think at quarter time they'll be pretty happy with that result.
Just watch Nathan Burke here. He was at the fall of the ball right there. That's what he's fantastic at. Was able just to hit the ball forward, creates the goal.
I'm sure Aussie Jones will be one man feeling a little better because he did help get the ball down there initially. And as you mentioned, he's had a very busy first quarter and productive with 8 possessions, all of them kicks. And Thompson, the other stat star so far for the Saints, with 9. And Powell, that goal and 8 possessions. Porter still doing the ruck work for the Kangaroos. That ends an intriguing opening quarter at the MCG. And the Saints will be well pleased with themselves as they head to the first huddle. They've kicked 6 goals, 3 in the opening term. The Kangaroos, 4 goals, 3. Stephen Milne, the main man, doing the damage with 3 goals.
No doubt he was a standout in that quarter. Very exciting up forward, Stephen Mill. His goals were exceptional and really carrying on from last year. And he's a player that I think all St Kilda supporters are looking at to try at least get them into the 8 this year.
Have a look at this. The door's
locked.
There's Matty Rendell trying to get out. This will be interesting. Let's see the dexterity of the coaching. Oh, that's a bit disappointing. They've got it open.
Well, Matty showed more agility then than he ever played when he played.
Well, Grant Thomas makes his way down to the huddle, knowing that his side has made a very bright start in this game. They've kicked 6-3-39. The Kangaroos 4-3-27. Back shortly to the MCG. And let's get down to Christie.
Well, it looks like Sav Rocker is going to start in the ruck in this term. It was interesting to see that he didn't come on at all in the first term, but we heard Dean Laley before the game say that he is a little bit underdone, so I will play him off the bench and just in the ruck, and here he goes.
Here he goes indeed, and wins the first tap. He tapped it down to no one, though, because Thompson was the man to read it beautifully. As the Saints going forward, Burke involved again in a thrust forward for the Saints. Plenty of Kangaroos around. Clayton did well with the dummy, opened it up for himself on the wing, and Simpson there and ready to receive, as he so often is. Helped too with Makepeace, and Stevens ahead of him. Brown the target, beautifully read. Xavier Clark, he's playing this back pocket position like a veteran so far. Into the middle of the ground. Daniel Wolf's been brought onto the ground. Up to full forward, Rewald circling his Milne, he's ready. It was all set up for him, and that is as easy as pie. Stephen Milne has kicked 4 goals, and this is just a dream for him at the moment.
Superstar, really, at the fall of the ball. Why wouldn't you be under Nick Rewald here? His opponent ended up going around the back where he really should have.
Rawlings was third man up, and Milne just got to the base of the pack, front and centre, and sure enough, just lobbed straight in his lap, and he just doesn't miss. Just doesn't miss. What an unbelievable start by Stephen Milne. 4 goals within the first minute of this second term. Stevens tries to crash his way through. Can't. We'll get a secondary bounce.
Let's not forget Xavier Clark's effort back there to really set up that play also. Has had an outstanding start to this game, Xavier Clark.
Well, I did question that move at the start, and I've been proved completely wrong because he's been fantastic.
Big pack of players around the football as we look at the St Kilda box, and just some discussion there, but Grant Thomas must be feeling fairly comfortable with the way things are progressing at the moment. Rewalt now finds himself in the centre of the ground. Powell underneath the pack. Gets it out, but umpire Sheen calls for it.
And Steve Milne's second opponent with Rawlings now on him back there at full-back.
Well, I think they needed to do the change, and they have made it. And Milne, well, you've just got to lock him down now. Rawlings needs to suffocate him and make sure that every time he goes to the ball, he knows he's on his hammer.
They've completely opened the forward line up, haven't they, too, for him to suit Stephen Milne?
Well, I think when a guy's having a purple patch like Milne is, you've got to open the forward line up, give him plenty of space, and give him every opportunity for the ball to find him.
Umpire Sheen puts it down again. Capuano thumps it forward, straight to Makepeace. Tackle and chase by Burke. Harvey kicks high, inside attacking 50. Petrie in front, good fist coming from Gary. Clark again. Almost caught him. Charles Clark kicks out wide. Wolf is marked on the southern wing. St Kilda are impressive. Baker's loose inside. He ignores that. Kicks to a loose player towards half forward. Blake has it. Quick hand off Powell, who's been devastating. Now Capuano confronted by Rocket. Decides not to take him on. Lead from Rewalt. Ignores that. Kicks across the ground. Black, clever. Needed to be. Runs to 50. Thumping left foot kick, but it's offline. Does it have to carry? It does. So behind just to the St Kilda side. Margin set out to 19 points.
So Makepeace to bring it back in for the Saints, for the Kangaroos. 7-4 plays 4-3. He gets himself maybe into a little difficulty, but he gets good support from Rocker, and he's away now, out to the wing. As it turned out, it wasn't a bad kick. Brown turned it into one anyway. Rawlings wasn't precise with the kick, but good enough for Sinclair. Morrell makes his lead now to about 40 out. He's got a few around to help him. Will he get a free kick? But maybe he should have maybe accentuated. David King has been relatively quiet and couldn't make a difference there. Lenny Hayes leading the way, combining with Thompson. The pressure still on the Saints though. Sinclair weaves his way through, backed himself but ran into a big wall of Saints. Stevens tried to lift his team, but all in the end was kick it out on the full.
G. Hayes was strong there. Attacked the football. Fraser Gehrig taking plenty of time in the back pocket. Hayes, 8 possessions for the stand-in captain. Now he decides to run across his defensive goal square. It's dangerous because he really hasn't got much to kick to, but Wolf gave him a target. Well played, Wolf. Gehrig runs on. Got it at half back. Wells stands the mark. Moyle. Baker, oh, they're in trouble. Look out. Little kick to Jones. Wolf followed up. Well played. Great smother coming from Shane Clayton. Pushing the back surely. And we go to Petrie. In fact, it's Harding. No one stands the mark. That's Slate. Wolf has had his back to the play. A spiral torpedo from Harding to the goal square. Going. Oh, Petrie touched it on the goal line. That travelled 65 metres.
Would have been a 9-pointer.
We just see Milne there and Rawlings. Milne has the whole inside 50 clear. There is not one player inside that 50. He has plenty of space to move and find the footy.
Xavier Clark and now Burke, and the Saints away. Had to go to Rewald. It really wasn't much of a situation there for the Saints.
It's interesting because Milne's goals have come from crumbing goals off taller players, yet they've left him inside attacking 50 by himself.
I was just going to say that one problem when you are having a purple patch and you are kicking goals, what you tend to do is gravitate towards goal, and you forget what made you find the goals and get those goals by pure hard work. So it can be a little bit of a, I guess, a trick that it can turn against you pretty quickly. You change your game plan a little bit.
Capuano goes out wide. Luke Ball, who's back on the ground, started up the match on the bench and also the second quarter on the bench. Could have gone short to Thompson, but the Kangaroos have really blocked up the 50 area. They've got 3 players who are minding zones, Teague, Rocket and Harvey, and the others are minding players. Scores. Rewald makes a lead now away to his right, but
in this situation, I always think it's best just to put it on top of one of those zoning players and allow someone like Rewald just to come over the top, second man up to try and take the mark.
We either have to do that or get some movement.
Baker, and now back to Max Hudson from the Gehrig kick. In the end, he got fed up and just went long. Rewald, look man, most
well
likely,
done.
but Morrell showing his versatility. He was their most dangerous forward in the first quarter, and he's done well as a defender. Sinclair had Clayton running for him. Jones will make him work for it. He did. He's got the free advantage, not paid. 7-4 St Kilda. They've kicked the only goal of this second quarter so far. 4-4 the Kangaroos. The margin 18.
Clayton along the southern wing. Gee, Gehrig made good ground to intercept the pass. Still in play. Numbers with the Saints. Thompson. Moyle releases Black. Chase from Stevens. High now, a chance for Rewalt. Baird with the sit. Rewalt almost. Baird's done a great job. Second chance for Shane Clayton. Now Rawlings. Kangaroos pretty solid across their defensive zone at the moment. Thompson front and centre. Schwartz brilliantly run down by Wells. Morrell ties it up. And applause for Daniel Wells. Of course, runner-up in the Sandover medal last year in Western Australia, and an exciting prospect for the Kangaroos.
So what do you think for the Roos at the moment, Steve? The Saints seem to be controlling the play at the moment.
They are.
Let's watch Wells going into full forward, but the Saints defence. Wolf read it very nicely. Digby Morrell leaves it for Harding, who misses. And that is his Achilles heel, isn't it, at the moment in his game, Lee Harding. He's kicking at goal.
Well, he had Petrie in the square and opted to shoot for goal and not use his fellow teammate. Pretty disappointing.
Jones at fullback. See what he does with the kick in. Just dribbles it short into the back pocket. Stephen Baker with hair this year.
Stephen Powell has come off the ground and has been replaced by Robert Harvey, who had spent some time on the bench.
Halfback Penny just chips Black. Kicks across the ground, a little dangerously, but gets to Hudson. Now they can set up a loose man as Thompson provides some run. Clark on the wing. Loose player inside the centre square. Harvey. Run provided by Baker. Saints a chance here. Kick onto the lead. Rewalt lands in front of him. Geez, trying hard, Rewalt. Nothing working out. Ball slipped over. Gets a second chance, does he? Gives it up. Oh, they're outnumbered. 4-1 St Kilda. Kick from Makepeace. Wolf did well, just running across, intercepting in front of Jeremy Clayton.
So Wolf able to combine with Clark. And again, the Saints can set up. This time switching play a little dangerously. They have got the numbers here. Black harassed beautifully by Harding. Forced the turnover. Harvey to take it all the way if he can. Puts it up for Petrie if he can just get the flight of the ball. Got a bad bounce. Hudson back to the line and gets it there safely, as it turns out. Has a few deep breaths. And just a little fiddle with the guard he's got in his leg. He's had some problems pre-season, Maxie Hudson, but he seems to be okay.
Terrific play by Lee Harding before to run and cause that turnover. Exactly what the Kangaroos forwards need to do.
Andrew Thompson's having a great match. 14 possessions for the Saints. Harvey left it behind. Still the pressure on towards the boundary line. Simpson, it would be a very tough ask to get that one through, and he didn't even score, as it turns out. So 46 the Saints, 29 the Kangaroos. Getting towards the halfway stage of this second quarter. 1-1-7 for the quarter, the Saints, and 2 behinds for the Kangaroos.
Kangaroo forwards just need to try and hold the ball inside their 50 just to create a bit of pressure on the St Kilda defence. Coming out of their forward line far too easy.
Harvey to Baker. Now Wolf. St Kilda kicking the ball very short, and skills need to be precise. Now they're outnumbered again here. Black needs to get it over the line, and he does. Is he being penalised? Yes. Well, he was under pressure. He was outnumbered. He knew what he had to do. He tried to do it as subtly as possible, but umpire Sheen was right onto him. Clayton now. Chance to kick inside, attacking 50. Morell on the lead, couldn't quite hold on. No free kick. Sinclair runs to 40. Non-dominant side with the right boot. Hudson will get back, but not in time. Goal to Sinclair. So Jess Sinclair kicks the Kangaroos' first goal, 26-minute mark of the first quarter. And the margin back to just 11 points.
And it's amazing how the little things create opportunities. It was the Brett Harvey tackle that created this goal upfield, and Sinclair was the man to kick this one for the Kangaroos, and a goal that was really needed at this stage of the game.
So suddenly the margin back to 11 points. A very big goal, that one, for the Kangaroos. Black locked up. 1 goal each for the term. Beautiful afternoon in Melbourne. Temperature up in the low to mid-20s, and a little bit of cloud about, but it'll be pretty warm out there on the ground. Plenty of rotations from both sides we've seen off the bench so far. Good touch there from Wells. Both teams putting their body on the line. Luke Ball finding out all about AFL football. Moyle, Harvey, Rewald, who's only touched it 3 times today in terms
First
of
mark.
possessions. Goes for Penny. Watt slightly out of position, but he did well with the extended hand. Harding well up the ground. Teague, Simpson. Saints just under a bit more pressure now. The Roos showing a bit more poise, but they're doing this. They're overdoing it, perhaps, the Kangaroos. Eventually having to blast a half forward. Morell, that was perfectly set up for the swooper. Getting it in quickly. That's an amazing defensive kick from Aussie Jones. And his Wolf it was. And he's got it away to Clark, and now out to the wing to Capuano into half forward. Teague will try and chop it off, but he can't.
What a great kick.
Milne, Rawlings has to be careful. Trying to lock him in. Stephen Milne waiting for a lead. Hayes Gives him something and then doubles back into the square. Rewald still down there in the goal square, as is Capuano. Pushing into the pocket was Penny. Rawlings ready to swoop. Simpson blasting away for the wing. Petrie the target. Had no one down though. Great defensive work again by the Saints, and Wolf improvising beautifully to ball. Look at the way he held it in one hand. Sets it up to full forward. Baird did well because he kept the path for Porter, but Hayes, Penny, plenty of Saints. Ball, they're back outside 50 now. Thompson from a standing start. And it's away, it's coming back, but not enough. And so a behind for the Saints. And the margin back to 12.
Working hard, the Saints. Winning the ground balls, 23 to the Saints, 9 to the Kangaroos.
Jones does brilliantly, outnumbered 3-1, gets it to the line. It's a great kick coming in from Makepeace. Just sensing Kangaroos outnumbered the Saints at half back, but Jones was equal to the task. Tight game of football. Over the top, Stevens knocks it forward. Grant, toe poke, Wells overruns it. Milne. Thompson couldn't get a clear, effective possession away. Robbins. Morrell almost. Now a chance for Stevens, dispossessed. Now Wells, good handle over the top. Harding floating in front of the pack, runs to 45. He's dangerous, kicks towards, well, I don't know where he was kicking, across the ground. It looked as though, watching him through the glasses, he had spotted a teammate, but there was no one there within 30 metres of where that kick landed. So a boundary throw in deep in the Kangaroos attacking zone. Just looking ruefully there. Rocker straight down towards Thompson. Baker couldn't handle it. Chance for Grant, snap around the body. Offline. Margin back to 11 points. Game in the balance.
Let's get to Christy Malthouse.
Anthony, this game could be a little bit of a game of survival. Not only do the players have to contend with, obviously, the gaping hole in the stand and the wing, but also the heat. It's really quite warm down here. Already looks like it's taking a bit of an effect with how much they're using the bench, so we'll have to see what that does in the last term.
Oh, Wells winning out. A fair bit of class, but he had to give the first option. As it turned out, he didn't turn it over. Morrell and David King. He's inside 50, David King. He launches a David King special. And they're right back in it now. Right back in amongst it. 5 points the difference. Daniel Wells, Steve.
Well, sometimes you see something special in a kid, and this is special. To be able to weed through that and be able to hold his feet, most importantly, to be able to set this goal up is sensational. And really, the kick by David King also is something pretty super.
So a great goal by David King. And he turned to the St Kilda supporter group and gave it to them. Back in the centre, Porter gives it straight up to Hayes. Capuano scrambles it forward. Rewalt couldn't quite get there. Makepeace. Well played. Oh, or was it? No. Just couldn't quite execute. Did the hard work. Powell. Kangaroos have kicked 2-1 in this second term. And St Kilda haven't kicked the goal since the opening minute of the term. Stephen Milne kicked his fourth. Powell thumps it long to the top of the goal square. Rewalt with the sit, but all Kangaroos. Harvey, well tackled by Rawlings. Big pack of players around it, and eventually umpire Sheen calls for the football.
Sav Rocker has now gone to full forward. Of course, playing on ball. Well, a loose man, really, in the Kangaroos' defence for quite some time in this second quarter.
Hasn't had a touch.
Porter. Now a chance for Teague. Wrapped up by ball. And again, another bounce. Ball just 35 metres from the St Kilda goals. We look at the St Kilda interchange bench. Black and Maguire. Oh, Capuano takes it out. Now a chance for Milne. Now a chance for Jones deep in the pocket. Kicked it straight out on the full. And Football's almost lost. Aussie Jones. Margin 5 points in favour of the Saints, but certainly in the last 10 minutes or so, the Kangaroos have played the better football.
Rawlings, and pretty confident off to Stevens. Nowhere to go except short. Clayton likewise. Now he spots Makepeace at centre half back. It will open up for the Kangaroos here through the middle. He had Robbins short. He's got longer options. Harvey, one of them. Rocker leaves the space for Harvey to work in, and he thrives on a bit of space. And he was just ready to put the arms up and start pumping, and then it just faded a little bit for a behind, hitting the post.
It's how amazing is it when you come through the middle of the ground, how easy the game does look. The Kangaroos bringing that ball through the middle of the ground, really 2 or 3 kicks, and they've had a shot at goal.
With the wind, I guess, coming through the hole.
Powell in the back pocket. 10 possessions for Stephen Powell, short to Baker. And St Kilda in this quarter have kicked the ball very short. And it's been as a consequence because they had no long targets. This time Baker decides to kick long towards Penny in front. Good mark taken.
That is a good mark.
By Brown. Just pumps it back inside attacking 50. Rocker with the set. Got hands to it, couldn't complete the mark. Baker. Little kick around the body is effective. Thompson, Jones, Burke. He's got to beat about 4, Nathan Burke. In fact, he's got to beat 5. Porter. Back to Brown. Uses it poorly. Garrick was able to intercept. Hayes keeping his hands free was Thompson. Hayes, now Harvey. Short to Powell. He's dangerous from here. Runs to 45 and kicks a shocker. Out on the full. Gee. Thought he would have done a little better than that. You could probably tell.
Oh, that's well, they tried to square off for the first one in the first quarter. The Aussie Jones kick in. The Saints still might get a goal. Rewald was a fumble from Powell. He held the ball in a very strange way, and now he's kicked one out of bounds on the floor to the left and one to the right.
Really 2 or 3 errors in the last minute or so. Just wondering whether the players are just getting a little bit tired. Christie did say that it is very warm out there, and just a couple of decisions that really players from both teams have done a little bit staggering, really.
Simpson sneaking on the ground and trying to provide an option around the boundary line for Rawlings, who has to kick in that direction anyway, as it turns out. No mark for big Barry Brooks, who's on the ground, number 24 for the Saints. Along the boundary line, Harvey, who's had a fair bit of it in this quarter particularly. He's had 10 possessions now for the day. This is Robbins as the Kangaroos go forward. Shannon Grant, they're going forward very slowly. Robbins again. Great pressure.
Great stuff.
That was Baker the tackler. Wolf. Suddenly the Saints into attack. Rewald. He looks a little bit out of sorts, Nick Rewald. I wonder if he's fit or not. Harvey. Oh, a bit of vintage Robert Harvey there. Can he find the middle? No. It is very difficult to kick goals at that end of the ground, it seems.
It is very difficult, but Robert Harvey also a very difficult player to tackle. We just see how he can just stop and really change direction. It's one of the real assets that he's had over his career.
Rawlings, now Stevens, just props. Sinclair gets around ball. Wanted his left side anyway, so that was convenient. Kick inside the centre square, little fumble from Simpson. Wolf applying the pressure, but he was able to get the effective handball to Grant. Now he can steady. Kick towards half forward at the back, Gary. Couldn't take it. Harding, his dynamite. Was he taken high? No, but he got a chance from 40. Kick around the body. In front, almost the mark. Oh, he needs to get back onto it, does Blake. He does. Gets it out towards Black, and they tie it up, the Saints. They do. Desperate stuff. They got numbers back, St Kilda. Blake was in all sorts of trouble there for a moment. Kangaroos with a chance, deep in their attacking zone. Robbins almost, Blake on top of the football, and a bounce.
It's what the Kangaroos have to do. We said it early in this quarter. The ball was coming out of their forward line very easy, but this puts pressure on opposition's defence.
Brooks gets it down, chance for Stevens. He's well tackled by Black, and another bounce. Umpire Jeffrey.
The third ball up contest in their forward 50.
This time Rocker, Rewalt, knocked out of Harvey's hands. Chance for Harvey. Kick back towards goal. He squeezes it through. Goal to the Kangaroos. So the Kangaroos have hit the front. They lead by a point. The last time they led was at the 5-minute mark of the first quarter.
And I guess you give yourself an opportunity when the ball's inside your 50. There were 3 ball-up attempts in about 40 seconds. And here, while the Kangaroos take the most of their opportunity, and what a fantastic goal by Harvey.
So, after all we've seen, the game is just about back on level terms now with the Kangaroos in front. And they've done really well in this second term. Moyle, Robbins. Saints have had some chances, haven't been able to capitalise. Ball up on 50.
Steve, Luke Ball seems to have adjusted very, very well.
Yeah, a lot of the youngsters, Luke Ball certainly has got plenty of time, and you can just see he's a player of the future. But I think also we see Clark, who's been outstanding, and also Wells.
The Ball's already had 7 touches and hasn't played the full minute so far. Hayes. Thompson's had plenty. That's 18 possessions for Andrew Thompson. The flying kick just judged in the end. Watt getting right back to the last line to take it. He's got a couple of options here. Simpson and Teague. Teague to apply the block and allowed Simpson to get a clean possession. 2-on-1 in St Kilda's favour. And Swartz seeing it over. So 1.5 minutes remaining in the first half from the MCG. And a fascinating battle. The Saints saw the Kangaroos kick the first goal of the game, and then St Kilda kicked the next 4. They led by 12 at quarter time. Gradually, that lead has been eroded in this second term to the extent that the Kangaroos now find themselves in front by a point as we get close to the main break. Rewald. Thompson, a good tap. Aussie Jones. Time and space to make a good decision. He got decked afterwards. This could be crucial, because the Saints, with 1 minute remaining, would love an opportunity through Maguire to get back in front. Even a behind here would leave them on level terms. So Matt Maguire, his first touch of the day coming up. In fact, he's had 1 handball. Plenty of leads down in the square, but he's in that corridor of uncertainty at the moment. He decides to go for full forward. Petrie getting back, and that's a great mark. Had the confidence to go for the grab despite the situation. Didn't spoil. Clayton Rowe finding himself under some pressure. Escapes to Stevens, who's had only 5 possessions. That's a good kick, though.
Get it in. He needs to get it in.
Harvey down there in the goal square. Can he take the mark? Well, the kick came in a haphazard fashion. Harvey loves this situation. Black circling, did well. Harassed him out of it. Harvey tried to go off the ground, but couldn't. And in the end, the Saints win the day. Or do they? Out on the floor.
It's amazing what a bit of forward line pressure does. It does create opportunities, and really...
Shocking kick from Brown, and that was the difference, because King would have had a shot for goal on the siren. Disappointment for the Kangaroos, but they'll be pretty happy with their work in the second quarter. They kicked 3 goals 4 to 1 goal 3, and will take a 1-point lead into the main break.
Well, they did. They fought their way back into the game, really through persistence through the midfield, and also forward line pressure. And I guess Brent Harvey was one of the players up in the forward line that did create those opportunities.
Andrew Thompson's been great. He's had 18 possessions, a 1-point lead to the Kangaroos, 7-7-49. St Kilda 7-6-48. Grant Thomas also makes his way into the rooms at halftime. A 1-point ball game. We're back shortly at the MCG.
Chance to judge your pair.
behind me. The breeze has picked up, and it'll definitely be an advantage for St Kilda in this term, and something they'll definitely want to take advantage of themselves in the heading towards, obviously, the end of the game.
Thank you, Christy, down on the boundary line. 7-7-49 the Kangaroos, 7-6-48 the Saints as we get ready for this third quarter. I guess it is a great unknown as to which side will run out the game better.
It is, and we'll know it in the next couple of quarters, Hutto.
Yeah, I'll get back to you on that one in about an hour or so. Third quarter underway then from the MCG. Robbins with the first possession, who played every game last year and was a very important pickup for the Kangaroos. A big scramble early, lots of players around the ball, and the Kangaroos have turned it over. Eventually, Harvey breaking clear. How many times has that happened over the years? Harvey to Burke or Burke to Harvey. Milne, was that too high? Hayes, he's got a vacant square ahead of him. He knew it was there. He just had to get within range, and he's put the Saints back in front. The captain leading the way. With the breeze behind him, he just saw away to his left that it was a vacant paddock there, and he made sure he kicked the goal.
Well, really, the first goal very important in this third quarter. Lenny Hayes, of course, captaining their side today, and this is just presence, knowing exactly what your opposition's going to do. He knew that Rocker was going to try and smother that ball, balked him, and was able to kick this lovely goal.
And it was interesting, you had Nick Riewoldt just out of picture, didn't use him, took the responsibility on himself. Porter gets it out, Harvey again, the St Kilda Harvey. Kicks on the outside of the boot towards half forward. Milne almost. Good spoil coming from Rawlings. Ball tries to crash his way through. Penny. Deft little left foot kick out wide. Burke. Oh, they muck it up. Capuano and Burke. Chance now for the Kangaroos. Powell tries to crash his way through. Burke, look out. Wells runs him down. Harvey being forced back with the Saints. Black, look away handball. Jones. Can he find someone? He can. But it's Shannon Grant of the Kangaroos
who was quick to look up and see Simpson breaking away to his left, but didn't go with the instinct straight away, decided to wait and see what else was on offer. Brady Rawlings now, but Petrie is one of the major targets. Brown there as well. Petrie at least caused the contest. Hayes into Black as the Saints look to build up halfback. Got a short option away to his left in Harvey, but decides to go longer for ball. It was set up for Makepeace as it turned out. Shannon Grant, a couple of nice touches early in the quarter. Certainly ran his full measure. The Saints fans were calling for a free kick. David King, who kicked a lovely goal in the first half, but hasn't had an enormous amount of impact other than that. Harding getting back to the goal square, calls for it. Goes somewhere in between for Rocker. And Big Sam with the fire break haircut. I think there's some sort of pact going on at the Kangaroos that they don't achieve certain things financially with it on the horses. They have to shave their head. And Sav Rocker, one of the victims.
Big kick for Sav, this one. Hasn't had much of the ball today.
It's his second kick coming up.
Needs to get involved in this game, and by kicking this goal might just help his confidence a fraction.
Struggled with injury during the pre-season. Surprised to some that he's playing today, but he kicked 50 goals last year and has kicked plenty in his career, up over 600 with that one. Misses the lot out on the full, and we've noted how difficult it is to kick goals at that end, so that trend continues.
Nathan Burke, halfback. He's played pretty well, Nathan Burke. Of course, first appearance since round 3 of last year, where he was injured, requiring a second knee reconstruction on his left knee. Gehrig, high. Chance for Penny, great mark. Well, a surprising move. He's played up forward this afternoon. He's given them a target. Baker, confronted by both Wells and Stevens. Jones was quick with the handball. Capuano, can he use it? Riewoldt leads for him. Going back, Baird, a chance. Riewoldt got hands to it again. Couldn't hold the mark. Baird, who's been his master this afternoon. Shocking kick. Mark taken by Moyle. Decided to go back. Now he looks for an option. Riewoldt on the lead again. This time maybe. No, at the back. T couldn't hold on. Great pressure from the St Kilda forwards. It was a great tackle coming from Nathan Burke. And a bounce just 30 metres from the St Kilda goal. Great pressure. Saints by 5 points. Kicked the only goal of this third term. Hayes over the top. Powell tries to spin out of trouble. Simpson. Grant. Looping handball. Baird. Run provided by Brown. Wobbles the left foot to half forward. Gehrig in the way, needs to get rid of it quickly and does. Clark, clever. Harvey linking the play. Hodgson. Now a chance for Moyle. Confronted by Harvey. Chips with the right boot. Wolf. Now a chance for the Saints. Wolf, can he use it inside attacking 50? Rewalt, no! Bad again working to the front. And Rewalt just signs of some frustration. He's led hard, he's tried hard. Things just haven't fallen for him this afternoon.
Just struggling to find a bit of space because Porter is actually dropping back. Capuano really staying in the middle of the ground, the reason why he's getting plenty of the ball.
Porter, that was a terrific tap. Really set it up for the takeaway from Teague. Into the middle, important ball to be won. The big man did. Brown controlled it to Rocker again. Oh, that's a fantastic spoil. Brilliant stuff from Maxie Hatchton. And the Saints will get away. Gehrig controlling it off the left around the corner. Aussie Jones up the left, he's got plenty ahead of them. One of them, Nathan Burke, a welcome return today for the 305-game veteran. He's got Capuano calling for it, didn't spot him immediately, wanted to go more centrally. Luke Ball, who's had a wonderful debut coming in for possession number 10. He's found out what it's all been about at AFL level today, but he's looked at hard. Wolf! The big bad Wolf comes in and takes the mark. He huffed and he puffed. And he took a very nice mark.
Well, he did it well, didn't he? He just kept his eye on the ball. Shannon Grant made the mistake here where he searched for Wolf to come up to find the ball. We just see there, really took his eye off the ball, tried to hold his player out, but Wolf did take a lovely mark.
So now, Daniel Wolf's just got to blow the house down here, Chris. Try and put it through. The Saints have kicked the first goal of the third quarter. And from 50, Daniel Wolf. Well, very disappointing. Wouldn't have blown a shack down that one, just through from behind. 6 points the difference. Nate Peace to bring it back into play.
Short to Baird. Casual looking handball. Stevens, good chase from Burke, but he gets the kick away to a vacant wing possession. Shannon Grant's covered some territory early in this third term. Boundary throw in. Even goal in favour of St Kilda. They led by 12 points at quarter time, but it was the Kangaroos up by a point at the long break. Hayes just throws it onto the boot, wobbles a torpedo to half forward. Burke makes a contest, in fact almost takes the mark. Baird, who's been outstanding. Rawlings, now Makepeace, who's provided some poise in the back half. Shane Clayton links up with Grant again. He's a good user of the ball normally and hits Rocker. Just had to stretch, couldn't hold on. Hudson did superbly. Now Clark, well played Hudson. Clark got some toe. Good chase from Sinclair. Thumps it long. Numbers with the Kangaroos. Ball just falling short of Brooks, and Stevens was able to intercept.
And Anthony Stevens again linking up with Rawlings and Colbert, who hasn't had too much of it this afternoon. His third possession coming out. Petrie leads really hard for him. Colbert meantime was just trying to control the ball. Simpson's a long option. Colbert treading water. Got Wells to give it to. He's going to be under pressure here. Trying to get some momentum back. The Kangaroos made a complete mess of it. And Aussie Jones worked hard, but the numbers were still with the rules. Wells with acceleration. Gets it in, but not far enough for Rocker. Petrie! Oh, he's taken a couple of lovely grabs today.
I reckon that's his third one where he's put his body on the line, and that's probably the best of him, running with the flight of the ball and really running into a man-made mountain in Gehrig. Coming the other way. Super grab.
Well, there's been 5 goals, 6 kicked at that end of the ground today. And Drew Petrie, who kicked 10 goals from 10 matches last year. Certainly coming up through the system as a ruckman, but with the wealth of ruckman at Arden Street, he's had to force his way to the side as a forward. Got very close to the man on the mark there, and he works it back well. It's a goal. Scores level.
Well, we see this grab here by Drew Petrie, running with the fly of the ball, and more importantly, after doing such a great job marking that ball, he slotted the goal through for the Kangaroos.
From the centre, kick forward by Simpson, wide to half forward. Wells leading in the race for the ball, overruns it. Brown providing support. Back to Robbins, Wells. Put down by Garrick, but not before he could get a kick away. Straight to Hayes. Kangaroos keep coming at St Kilda. Black. Get a Shepherd. No, he doesn't. He ran into Burke. Burke was looking to Shepherd, and the handball is astray. Costly turnover. Simpson scrambles it forward, only as far as Clark, who's been a very good player this afternoon. Great kick to ball. And Luke Ball's impressed me this afternoon. He's been absolutely fantastic. Stamp of quality. Kick towards half forward. Didn't have enough carry on the kick, and this player's been pretty good too. Although he handballs to Grant. Oh, Mill should have gone for Grant's hips, didn't. As a consequence, he's able to kick away. Sets Clayton. Kicks towards half forward. Petrie again marks 50 from goal.
Rewell's gone back.
Now he marked that right. He marked that pretty much right on attacking 50. And if you look where Rewald's standing,
To King.
here 2 metres back. Handball to King from 50. A thumping kick is offline and through 4 behind.
Well, you didn't mention, Hutto Rewald has gone back.
Onto Petrie by the look of things. Well, it's a bit hard to tell from the kick in.
Just trying to find out where Garrick's gone.
And there's Rewald straight away to the play, and you can hear the cheers from the Saints fans. Happy to see him with his arms and hands around the footy. Aussie Jones, good pressure from Simpson. Was it legal? Yes, it was. Aussie Jones argues the case. He's had 17 possessions today, being one of the Saints' highest possession winners.
Actually, Rewald might have gone onto the ball. Looks like he may be in the ruck.
Yep. Here he is contesting the ruck contest with Colbert, so slightly unlikely ruck duo there. Porter sitting on the bench. Morel on the bench as well for the Kangaroos, who was very prominent early. They're gone with Sav Rocker and Petrie and Brown as their key forward targets at the moment. Rewald, Hayes, Powell, Simpson all trying to get hands on it. Wells, Jones again, another important touch. Powell just forcing it forward. Courageous makepeace. Caught one high. The umpire having words to Luke Penny. There is no doubt about the courage of Troy Makepeace. Again, the Kangaroos going short as they try and build from half-back. Trying to get through the central corridor. The leads start to come. Harding on a very long lead. Great work from Clark again. He's got the closing speed just for Robbins trying to invent something. Grant was desperate. Robbins thrusting forward. Jeremy Clayton. Oh, Shannon Grant had the confidence to take them on and to importantly finish the job.
Well, another goal to Shannon Grant, but what super play by Robbins. He came in here, he just crashed and forced the ball forward. That little handball out the back, which was cleaned up by his teammates, and Grant grabbed his opportunity to kick that goal.
Kangaroos now out by 7 points. Robbins, here they go again, scrambles it towards half forward. Brown comes to meet. Oh, slick handball to Wells. Dumps it long to the goal square. Rocker going back, outmarked comprehensively by Hudson.
Last 3 contests, Rocker has been beaten by Hudson.
Kick out wide. Mark taken just by Blake. Gee, they would have been in trouble if he hadn't held on to that. Kick into the centre square. Penny. Runner outside. He's going to put Baker under pressure. He's got nowhere to go. Eventually, Wolf runs from half-back. Dumps it long to half-forward. Brooks going back with the set. And he's got... No, he dropped the mark he should have taken. Beautifully played. Ball for his first goal in league football, and he kicks it. So Luke Ball, well, they worked it pretty well from half-back. Baker, it looked as though he was going to be stranded there for a moment, but eventually the run came from Wolf. And again, Steve, the advantage of kicking the ball quickly into the forward line, and St Kilda were able to scramble the goal.
Well, this you reap the rewards when you do get it in quick, and Luke Ball hasn't he looked comfortable out there today.
It's been a very good contest all day. When either side has got ahead and looked damaging, the other one has come back. And so the thrust and parry continues. 1 point the margin at the moment. 9-8 to 9-7. And as we mentioned, both sides using their benches prolifically. Digby, Morrell and Teague sitting down, and both of those players have made a contribution this afternoon. But things functioning reasonably well for the Roos. Powell, though. The Saints getting the last goal, looking dangerous again. Watt. So Garrick's gone to full forward by the look of that for the Saints out to Harvey. He's been tagged by Baker this afternoon. Harvey goes very short. He loves the give and get. There's Brent Harvey. Away he goes again with a couple of bounces. In the end, he kicked relatively hurriedly and was a bit hopeful more than anything. And would probably be disappointed with the result. This man, Xavier Clark, has been outstanding for the Saints across half-back. Rewald, as we mentioned, has gone on the ball to get some touches. Gary looks further ahead. Brooks makes his lead at centre half forward. Harvey was pushing down. The overlap man is Hayes. Makepeace stood his ground. Hayes had to concede it over the line in the end, and the Saints will be disappointed.
Well, I think the kick was right by Gary, but the execution just wasn't quite right.
Stephen Milne, not only no goals, but no disposals, obviously. He hasn't kicked any goals, that he hasn't had a touch.
Opportunity missed there by St Kilda. The Gary kick not finding the mark. Robbins, great handball, sets Clayton away. Kick towards Petrie. At the back, Baker needs to be clean with his hands. He is. Rewalt. Chips. Harvey. Robert Harvey. He's away. Kicks on the lead. Gary. Oh, almost got hands to it. Ball needs to be strong in the tackle, and he is. Turnover. Chance for Gehrig again. 50 from goal. Thompson from 35. He props and misses. Well, big opportunity missed there by the Saints, but again, Luke Ball, great tackle, caused the turnover. Thompson couldn't capitalise.
Quick kick in from King. It's a good release too for Shane Clayton, and the Roos can run. Colbert puts in the hard ones and gets to the wing. Looks ahead now. Harvey could be the target. He's going to have to work awfully hard. He did work awfully hard. No free kick. Oh, that could be a free kick. He was very, very vigorous on Baker.
He was, but got to take your hat off to Harvey. He knew that he was under pressure, 2-on-1 contest, and he tried to hold that ball in.
Look at it again.
Ooh.
Just a little over enthusiastic. He actually copped one, Brent Harvey, for his troubles, and there may be some blood by the look of it, and maybe a few stars as well.
Yeah, it was a heavy knock. Of course, coming off with the blood rule. Just looking at young Watt for the Kangaroos, he did a terrific job on Rewalt, and now he's got another huge task on Gehrig.
It must be a significant amount of blood. You can see it flowing there, because with the amendment to the blood rule, they can treat them on the ground normally if it's just a superficial cut.
Let's just watch this again. There's the high tackle, and well, it's a bit hard to pick up there.
Tell you what, Baker did a great job to get the elbow to the nose and then anyone noticing there.
There won't be any video evidence there. Well, he's a loss. We need to get him back on the ground pretty quickly. Baker at half-back. Xavier Clark has been outstanding, leading mark taker on the ground. He has 8, along with his 14 disposals. High to half-forward. Maguire almost ground level. Kangaroos seem to have the numbers. St Kilda do enough to tie it up. Shannon Grant's been damaging in this third term. Maguire will do the ruck work. Hayes, now Moyle, chance for St Kilda, just sets it up. Needs Rewalt to come, but Baird put his body in front and allowed Colbert to take a very comfortable mark.
Two tall players up forward for the Saints, Rewalt and Garrick, so they certainly changed their structure up there.
Here's Hayes, and it's back over the line. How do you read it, Sauce, at the moment?
It's a bit of an arm wrestle, really. The game's there to be won. It's sort of going in spurts. I mean, St Kilda look like they're on top for a short while, and then Kangaroos fight back.
Overall, pretty low scoring as we get towards three-quarter time. 9-8 for both sides. Free kick plucked out of there. And it's going the Kangaroos' way. And Lee Colbert's had a pretty good third quarter. Plays the handball off that time and allows Makepeace to stride away along the wing, which he loves doing. Sinclair's the target. He's got Rocker coming out of the square. He's made his lead already. Brown's back in the square behind him. Morell at centre half forward, the other option. Harding is waiting in the goal square. Stevens with the kick. Petrie stays down. Couldn't lay a clean handball off, and Wolf kicks for the space on the wing for a one-on-one contest. Thompson's had a great day today. He was enthusiastic there, and he gets the footy in the end. Some terrific assistance from Milne. Through the middle, Harvey. He's got Gehrig, he's away, he's in space, and he should get there. White tried his hardest, but he couldn't close it out. And Fraser Gehrig will go back and have a pretty important shot. If there is the breeze there behind him, he should make the distance, so the Saints should be in front. It's a matter of by how much.
Did it well, Gehrig. He was behind Mott on that occasion and just slipped around the back. You're able to do that when your teammate coming down the ground has got plenty of time.
Fraser Gehrig has a good crack at it, and the Saints are in front by a goal. Well played, Fraser.
Well, a great goal to St Kilda, 6 points in front now, and great poise shown by Robert Harvey, having got it from Andrew Thompson, who's had a pretty quiet quarter, just the 2 possessions in the quarter, but the poise shown by Robert Harvey. Just picked the option, and Gehrig, gee, Watt started a long way from Gehrig, and a great finish from Fraser Gehrig. Back in the centre, Maguire on the ball, will try to get it towards Harvey. Simpson tracks it down from 40 metres, kicks to the top of, no, it wasn't to the top of the goal square, it was out on the full. I think he tried to draw it back to the top of the goal square, but execution wasn't quite to the standard. Adam Simpson, 23 possessions this afternoon. And a free kick to Hudson.
Harvey getting some treatment to his hand, it looked like that.
Max Hudson, close to three-quarter time. Critical period of play here. Simpson at the back, couldn't quite hold on. Stevens, Makepeace, little kick around the body, just squeezed it through the congestion, looking for Morell, couldn't quite get there. Boundary throw in.
But an intriguing contest. Simpson and also Lenny Hayes. Simpson with the 23, but Lenny Hayes has also kicked, also had 18 and kicked the 1 goal.
So Maguire and Petrie, the 2 combatants here. Harvey waiting at the front. Robbins watching him very closely. Simpson, here's Robbins. Couldn't get it to Simpson. Oh, interesting handball from Moyle. Did the job. Hayes there to clean up. Suddenly surrounded by Kangaroos. Simpson still going. Maguire
Great
puts the
pressure.
body in. Shannon Grant. Important kick coming up for Anthony Stevens and the Kangaroos. And he made sure of it. He just steadied enough. And the game is back level again.
Well, a very good sign that for the Kangaroos. The pressure that each one of those Kangaroo players, as we watch on screen, they work very hard for each other. And of course, Anthony Stevens was on the end of it. More importantly, he did kick the goal, but a very good side for the Kangaroos because that was exceptional team play.
Scores have been level 3 times in this quarter. And that's where we find ourselves. Petrie trying to get it to Robbins. He's got a hand in there. Thompson scrambles a handball out and a bounce. Colburn may have got a free kick there, but it wasn't to be. So close to 3/4 time and another blood rule. This time Daniel Wolfe. Try and pick up where the blood's coming from. He looks a bit groggy, does he? Capuano coming on the ground for St Kilda. Just a minute 30 left in the third term. It's been an enthralling battle all day. And we're at where we started from. Scores level. Colbert against the bigger Capuano. Stevens in from the side. Grant provides the run. He's been fantastic in this quarter. High towards Rocker, going back almost the mark taken. Beautifully played. Great play by the Kangaroos. Clayton snap towards goal. The only player there, Hudson. He can't get it clear. Now Penny relieves the pressure. Cooley, Blake at half-back for the Saints. Kicks towards Moyle in space on the wing. Needs a favourable bounce. Tries to get it over the top. There's no one there. Petrie may have called for it. Kick towards half-forward. Shannon Grant, he gets a bad bounce as well. Now Clark, loose player. Ball, ignores that. Handball, back towards Blake. Needs to break the tackle and does. Harvey, kick out wide. Thompson and Makepeace. Makepeace meets it. Takes it across the line.
Pressure game out there. Both teams competing very, very hard.
Last 30 seconds of the third quarter. And it's a warm day in Melbourne. It's going to be a torrid last term for all the players out there on the ground. And I dare say for the coaches, Dean Laidley in his first match as coach, and Grant Thomas would dearly love to start this year with a win as well. Through the middle, Heath Black's kick, and the Saints are away. They've got 15 seconds to do something. Powell through the middle. Gives, gets, goes long. And he is off target again, and that is his third out of bounds on the full. And then he pumped up for his kicking earlier today, Michael.
Did I? Well, he certainly had a lot of it, and he's been damaging 20 possessions, but his finishing had been a lot better. St Kilda would have been better off. Now, that's a great smother from Stephen Milne. I was just watching to see whether there may have been 50 metres paid there, but it wasn't. Now we're close to 3/4 time, as you can see.
Well, they get one chance here, the Saints.
There's no one in the goal square, can you believe it?
From the boundary, throwing ball, punch towards the line, and now, is there a point? Yes.
Should be, yeah.
So at 3/4 time, St Kilda find themselves with their noses in front. They lead by 1 point, having trailed by a point at half-time.
Well, really nothing in it. Both teams, I guess, would be reasonably happy virtually going in level at 3/4 time. But if you see who can win this game for the Saints, you'd probably be looking at hopefully Rewald standing up in this last quarter. Garrick up forward also. It should be a handful for the Kangaroos. But I guess it's the season campaigners for the Kangaroos. You see Simpson, who's having an outstanding game. Also Grant. And you think if Rocker could stand up maybe and kick a couple of goals from the Kangaroos, they should be every chance to take this game out.
We'll find out shortly. The Saints 10-9-69. The Kangaroos 10-8-68. It's a 1-point ball game at 3/4 time.
If you treat me like a dog and keep me locked in a cage, I'm not relaxed.
What do you think? Structurally, will there be too many changes? We can check the player rankings while we think about that, because It's going to be very interesting to see the moves the coach makes.
Well, I guess from a coaching aspect, virtually teams are at the same level at the moment. They'd be a little bit reluctant to throw a lot of their players around in different positions coming into this last quarter.
Thompson much quieter in that quarter, but he's still...
Well, it's surprising to see him ranked number 1 because he just had the 2 possessions in that third term after having 18 up to half-time, so he must have had a pretty good break at the long break.
He spent a long time on the bench at the start of that quarter, so obviously will have an effect, and I guess he's fresh now for the last quarter. Christy.
Thank you. Well, there are no big injuries to report. The only things are the blood rule. Obviously, we saw Daniel Wolf come off in that last term. He went down into the rooms and got some stitches in a cut just underneath his chin. And Brent Harvey came off with his nose bleeding. They've heavily packed that. He's back out there and both players are right to go.
Last quarter, and the Kangaroos coming home with the scoring in. 12 goals have been kicked to left of screen, 8 to right of screen. So the Saints perhaps with a small handicap to overcome, but it could be a test of fitness in the end today. Brent Harvey in amongst it straight away, so he has recovered and kicks beautifully for Shannon Grant. Their partners in crime so often combining again. He just got to kick away Harvey, and it was a behind enough to level the scores. And it's going to be a very, very interesting last quarter. As we mentioned, fitness is such a hard thing to judge, isn't it? Coming in at this time of the year. And the sun, the extra things a factor, and I guess everyone putting so much effort into the first game.
They certainly are. Jones at full back. He's been fantastic for most of the afternoon. Just the one blemish in that second turn. Moyle. And this is a problem St Kilda confronted in the second turn. They just had no tall options. This time Rewalt makes a move, but outnumbered again. Porter. Robbins, well played by Capuano, just affected the spill. Now Hayes, kick towards half forward, going back. Good fist, well played by Powell, but King comes from half back. He's had a couple of bounces and a third. He's rushing to half forward. Look out, he runs through 50 from 45. Brilliant smother coming from Thompson, and he gives it straight up to Sinclair. Well, they had the chance to counter punch there. Kick inside, attacking 50. Chance for Clark after Moyle put it down, and Moyle's in trouble. Moyle holding his left knee. He's in trouble for St Kilda, or is it his ankle? Trainer to him. Boundary throwing inside the attacking 50 for the Kangaroos. Capuano straight down to Robbins. Petrie does very well. Scrambles at Goldwood, coming out. Chance for Morrell. All numbers though with the Saints. Penny. Good little handball to Jones. Needs to use it here. Thompson under pressure. Petrie did very well. And the Kangaroos do enough to keep it inside their attacking 50.
So important, the first goal of this quarter.
Luke Ball on the bench, a little surprising, I guess, in his first game. They don't want to give him too much of a task, but he's had 14 possessions. Stevens takes it back over the line. He's had a great start to his career, Luke Ball, hasn't he, with 14 touches. But the Saints under the hammer, 10-9. Both sides, Kangaroos attacking. Petrie, Thompson again. Can't get it out. LaRue's in the end through Simpson. Up to full forward. Clayton in good position. Robbins, a crucial fumble. Well played, Heath Black. He just bombed away. Harvey and Makepeace making ground on the footy.
3 on the 1.
Harvey demands Makepeace to clear the path for him, which he does well. Wells, quick to his feet, looks around, could go back to Harvey, who loves to keep on running. Wasn't a great option. In fact, it was a bad option. Going to the senior player who called for it, and the ball out of bounds.
That was brilliantly played by Baker, just putting some doubt in Wells' mind as to what he should do. Just stood off him and then attacked him, and it gave St Kilda a chance to get another number to the ball. Simpson takes it out, can't get a clear possession. Brown, Robbins now inside attacking 50. Kicks it off the side of his boot, out on the full.
Just looking up the other end of the ground, Fraser Garrick is now playing at full forward for the Saints. Very hard to match up on Fraser Garrick, extremely quick for his size.
Dangerous kick coming in, missed the mark. Chance for King from 40, standing start. He's kicked it. The Kangaroos in front. opens the account goal-wise in this final term, and it puts the Kangaroos 6 points in front, and he's played a pretty good game of football this afternoon.
He has, and what an important goal. Just to put a bit of doubt in this St Kilda side, who's such a young side, and to kick the first one just puts their youngsters under a little bit of pressure.
Well, David King has produced 2 crucial goals today, and the Saints are under a lot of pressure now. The margin just 6 points, but the Roos kicking to the scoring end and have got the early momentum. After the Saints were able to kick early goals in the first and third quarters. Porter. It was a good tap, Clayton. So good tackling from both sides.
Just looking down at the boundary line, Luke Ball ready to come onto the ground.
It's also interesting that King is playing a loose player in defence for the Kangaroos. The St Kilda side haven't got a loose player. They've got a loose player in the congested pack, which is not much value at the moment.
Baker coming from the ground for Ball. Baker doing the job on Brent Harvey at the moment, or he was. Now Makepeace spots Simpson, who's got loose again. Turned automatically onto the left, and a spearing pass designed for Shannon Grant. Centimetres in it.
This is where the Kangaroo forwards need to work the St Kilda defence over. They're looking tired. They haven't had much of a break in the last 5 minutes.
Capuano in front. Penny over the back. Straight to Harding. Oh, he normally eats those. He's kicked it across the face, and a good mark taken by Blake. Gee, Lee Harding, he's got to back him from there.
Well, that is a weakness of his, really. He has plenty of time on occasions to steady and have a shot at goal, but he just can't compose himself just to straighten himself up.
Speaking of weaknesses, Hodgson kicks it out on the full. Thompson was in the clear and needed to find the target. Now Brown dumps it to the top of the goal square. Morrell up high, couldn't take it. Still a chance. No, it's over
Free
the line.
Kick for in the back against Morrell.
So a second chance for Hodgson. Made sure of that one. Jones, who's played on, not much on offer. Kicks dangerously to Capuano. Picks it up off his bootlaces. Back to Jones. This time he decides to kick long, but there's no one there. The Kangaroos have got a bank across the midfield and are not letting St Kilda get through.
Through the middle, the Kangaroos do towards centre half forward. Morrell's been a good target for them for most of the day. Spent some time on the bench, as a lot of players have. And we've talked a lot about the conditions. Well, I wonder if there's players cramping out there. We'll get down to Christie.
The conditions are certainly taking effect already. We've got Moyle and Baker off the ground for St Kilda, both getting their calves rubbed down because they're cramping.
So Digby Morrell, his game this afternoon, 5 marks, 2 goals, 2. It's going to make it really tough for the Saints if he could be accurate there. He's not. So the margin 7 points. And the Saints yet to score. In fact, in this quarter, they've barely been inside 50. So they just need something to happen for them here. A bit of confidence, Steve.
Yeah, well, they haven't had their ball inside their 50 at the moment. It does tire you out, and I guess their fluency in playing is not existent at the moment, really due to the pressure of the Kangaroos.
Jones kicks, and play on was the call. Gee, you can hear the crowd. And Shannon Grant is irate.
Well, the Kangaroos have 3 players that do not have any man in the middle of the ground.
Stevens can't break clear, and we'll get another bounce. Umpire Michael Avon. And still the Kangaroo supporters vent their frustrations.
They have 2 players sitting back now, the Kangaroos. So obviously St Kilda should have 2 free around the ball.
And a boundary thrown. And Steve, that's where when you've got a big pack of players, by having 2 extra, it doesn't mean anything. So they need to man up. Inside 50s, 7-0. It's an ugly trend as far as St Kilda's concerned. Again, a big pack of players around the football, not going anywhere.
And when that happens in a quarter, when you're consistently under pressure as a backman, you do start tiring. That's exactly what's going to happen to St Kilda, unless St Kilda start getting some pressure back onto the Kangaroos up in their forward half.
Over the top, thump forward towards Clayton and Harvey. The boundary line is too close.
So for this quarter, the Kangaroos have kicked 1 goal too. Grant Thomas's team have been unable to add to their total. Well, I guess they've just got to get it up there to start with. Brown, Capuano, who's battled on today. Harvey onto the wing. Makepeace. Plenty of the footy again. Possession number 18 is okay. Into King, who's got better as the game's gone on. Rawling, streaming out of the fence. Bombs it in long. Petrie looming, but he was kept out of it. No mark completed. And Petrie couldn't capitalise. Shannon Grant forces it through from behind.
Gee, that was a mark, surely. I suppose no more of a mark than Shannon Grant's just a few moments ago.
11-11, 77 plays, 10-9, 69. Round 1 from the MCG, Saturday afternoon. The Saints under a fierce pressure here, defending grimly with the Roos attacking as Jones kicks and doesn't kick particularly well.
Lead offered by Harvey, cut off by Morrell, and the Kangaroos have locked this ball in their attacking half. They've got loose players in the midfield. There's one of them, Petrie. That's ignored. Kick to the lead. Great kick, great mark. And Shannon Grant has been absolutely fantastic since half-time. And an opportunity from about 40 metres.
Important for the Kangaroos now that they start hurting the Saints on the scoreboard. They've had plenty of play. They are tied at St Kilda, but the tide can change very, very quickly.
Grant, who kicked a goal in the third quarter, and as I said, has been instrumental in getting the Kangaroos back into the game. He won best and fairest in 2001, and for his standards, 2002 was a lean year. But he started 2003 pretty well this afternoon. Big kick. Drop punt. Just misses to the near side. So some opportunities being wasted by the Kangaroos. Margin out to 9 points.
They've kicked the 1-4 this quarter, the Kangaroos. Still allowing the Saints every chance to win this game.
Steve, what do they need to do, St Kilda, just to get it out? They just can't get it away from these.
Well, if they can get it out and just get the ball inside their 50 and hold the ball up, put some type of pressure back onto the Kangaroos.
They're just kicking it in at the moment into all the numbers, and finally they've been able to escape. Harvey, he's got Burke running for him, but he had to be precise. Good work from Gehrig off the ball to clear the path for him. Rewell needs to stand up and take a grab, and he does. Looks around, lots of Kangaroos, not many Saint teammates. Bombs it in there anyway. Could someone be a hero for the Saints? Someone went down. It was Wolf. But the mark was taken by Stevens. No free kick.
Exactly what the Saints didn't want. The ball comes straight outside, out of their 50.
Poor kick, but in the end it was all right for Morrell, who just goes straight for the boundary. Moyle, who came off the bench, just missed it.
It's tough while you're out there. You really don't know how many times you've been inside your 50, but all the Saints needed there was just hold the ball up inside their 50, try and change the momentum a bit.
Well, that was the first time they'd been there in the quarter. Capuano brilliantly down to Hayes, and now Harvey, they get another chance. Wild, he's taken 2 in a minute. Is he the man that's going to get them back in the game? Harvey, Burke, Harvey, Moyle, Shepherds. Harvey controlled the pass. It was superb. And out comes Wolf.
If you're a St Kilda player, you'd be getting over to Wolf and just telling him, set it steady and have a shot.
Robert Harvey's lifting.
Well, he's now had 23 possessions, had the most touches for the Saints. But all the pressure now on Daniel Wolf. We know how tough it is at that end of the ground. The trend continues offhand, so it'll be a throw-in. Disappointing result for the Saints.
Disappointing that he didn't kick a goal, but give St Kilda a chance here. They need to work hard, lock it in.
Capuano came nicely from the side. Porter's hands, though, were pretty good. Milne circling, hoping for the ball to come out his way. Gehrig, Simpson, all involved. Robbins in the middle. There's one-on-one contests everywhere. Oh, Xavier Clark played a slashing game off half-back. Out to Black. Now Burke makes the lead. He's away. If the foot pass is on target, Burke, oh, he played on. He definitely played on. And the umpire saw it that way. Baird will try and get to his teammates. He's got plenty around him. Robbins, bad luck for Nathan Burke. The few spots just a little slippery. And suddenly the Roos streaming forward into attack. Harding, can Clark close him this time? Didn't have to because he fumbled. Thompson under pressure back to Clark. The Saints can thrust forward again. Harvey, lots of space around him. Capuano away to his left. Harvey glides through the middle, goes for full forward. Rewild from nowhere, couldn't take the mark. Created the contest. Roos defence stand up to it, make peace, and now they can run. And Brent Harvey puts the foot down. He's got Simpson at half forward and away they go.
Harvey, no one coming to him, so he just keeps running. He's had 5 bounces, delivers inside, attacking 50 to Petrie. Well, you just wonder. Jones was running backwards to try and cover man. Someone had to come up to meet Brent Harvey. And Petrie with an opportunity here to really make it very difficult for St Kilda. They're not out of this game with the Saints, but going to make it pretty tough.
Lee Harding off the ground and replaced by Jeremy Clayton, who's playing his first game.
Drew Petrie. Big opportunity here for the Kangaroos. He's played pretty well this afternoon from 45. It's close. He's kicked it. So the Kangaroos extend their lead out to 15 points. And much due to that man, they were able to get it out of their defensive zone. As we watch the little chip kick there from Makepeace. And Brent Harvey, just in space, just motioning to his players to come to him. But the problem was, no one from St Kilda came to him, and he was able to deliver inside attacking 50.
He always
and a good finish from Drew Petrie.
Always knew that that player was coming forward.
Well, in a low-scoring game, the task of 15 points in the last 9 or 10 minutes will be very tough for St Kilda. Particularly with the Roos going forward again. A gallant mark in defence from Maxie Hudson, who's coming under this game under some pressure with some injury worries. Free kick's actually been paid to Clark. Goes over to Aussie Jones.
Brent Harvey, 5 disposals already in this quarter.
Very short. Hayes to half forward, wasn't a great kick. Ball waits for Gehrig. Milne calls for it at the top of the square. Gehrig was waiting for ball. He wanted to get it to him. In the end, he goes very short. Well, he knew what he was doing.
He did.
He
He stayed composed under pressure, Fraser Gehrig, and worked his way through, thought his way through the situation. In the end, executed very, very well.
Chris O, big kick this one. You'd think for St Kilda to win, Robert Harvey would need to kick this goal.
Well, he's been their main man to keep them in the contest, and he's blown that one away to the right so far, but it's out on the full.
Oh.
It's at least 4 that I can remember at the Saints where they've kicked it out on the full. 3 of them from your man Stephen Powell, Michael, and that one from Robert Harvey.
King dangerously back to Harvey. The kick was perfect. Now Sinclair, thumping kick right down the middle of the MCG. Hudson going back courageously. Now loose players out wide. One of them's Penny. Got Moyle further afield, uses him just. Now Gehrig's made space on centre wing, so the Saints with another chance here. Gehrig, centre wing, just steadies. What can he conjure up here, Fraser Gehrig? Ball's in support, kicks out wide. Wolf, almost, he's got it. Well played by Daniel Wolf. Off to Jones. Jones can run to 30. Oh, he's in all sorts of trouble. Chance for Luke Ball. Can he show us some mastery? Back to Wolf from 30. He kicks. Across the face
there's
again,
another one.
and there's another one out on the full.
Well,
it must be very hard to kick at that end of the ground. It must be.
yeah, well, no doubt it is, but St Kilda just put themselves under undue pressure. Just needed to go back, steady things down. They found it very difficult to have shots at goal. He's in within 30 metres. Go back, have your kick, steady up, let your teammates have a bit of a rest.
Keeping it very wide. The Kangaroos can almost defend this lead. I know they can't have that mindset, but they've got away enough. Simpson up towards half forward as they go into attack again. They've broken down. They've got all their numbers back, haven't they, the Kangaroos? And that's why the Saints are finding it so hard to penetrate. Clark can come forward again, back to Hudson. They're going to bring it this side of the ground, and then they're confronted by the side of Kangaroo jumpers ahead of them. So they have to be very precise with the disposal. Harvey is. Rewald's got there. Well done.
Have a shot.
They worked it well, the Saints, that time. And Robert Harvey has had plenty of the footy in this last quarter. Plenty for the day, in fact. Equal with Adam Simpson as the most touches. But Nick Rewald, who's had a bit of a shocker first up, things haven't fallen his way. In the end, to his credit, he's had 6 marks and 9 disposals. This is a massive kick for Nick Rewald. All of his 28 games of experience couldn't help him that time. Into the wind, you could see the ball dropping there. And so, given that circumstance, 14 points must seem like an enormous amount to make up for the Saints.
Sinclair. Been a good player this afternoon. Just taking his time, using the ball effectively. 17 possessions for Jess Sinclair. Stevens. Now Shannon Watt. Kick out wide. Grant and Simpson have made position. Now Shannon Grant's loose. Simpson uses him. Good chase by Ball. Great chase. And he's
Well
forced
done.
a turnover. Well, Capuano missed what he should have taken. Was able to get the handball clear. Penny under pressure. Has he turned it over? Well played by Blake. Releases it to Harvey. Thought about a handballing it close. Now, oh, look out, Moyle. You're in trouble.
I don't know if he had prior opportunity there.
Great tackle from Makepeace. Now with Harvey. Drills the pass in low for Petrie. Couldn't quite hold on. Capuano needs to get rid of it quickly and does. Hudson at half-back. Loose players on the northern side for the Saints. Maguire's one of them. Able to take it on the bounce. Wobbles it towards half-forward, and Rewalt forced into a position where he needed to spoil and did it effectively.
Good result for the Saints, that
Was 3-on-1. Rewald got it over the boundary line, and that's all he could do, and it was the right effort.
So the Saints kicked just 1 behind in the last quarter compared to 2-4 for the Kangaroos. And we're into red time, the last 5 minutes of the quarter, so it's a mountainous task. Simpson a high ball, very wide, and the Kangaroos with plenty of numbers back in defence. 12-12, playing 10-10. Can Grant Thomas come up with something that's going to change the way this game looks headed? Stevens for the Roos, and they'll be very happy with that. Just hold it up. They need someone to break the shackles, don't they? Almost take it on, come through and somehow manufacture a goal, and then all of a sudden they'll be only within 8 points. Whether that's possible or not, I'm not sure. Brown and Maguire. No one really went up to the ruck. Sinclair got a high one. Wasn't much in it, but just enough. And so the Roos can get away again. The switch is on. Dippy Morrell happy to hold things up. He's got Grant breaking for him to the outer side. And Grant has been fantastic for the Kangaroos. 22nd possession is up towards full forward. He's got a man. It looks like Brady Rawlings, who I think could put the game beyond doubt if he kicks truly here.
Well, clever play by the Kangaroo players there. They just waited for the options to come. There was no one really on downfield, but they just held the ball, waited for someone to present, and they were able to get Rawlings to have a shot on goal.
Capuano coming for the ground for St Kilda, and Barry Brooks in his first game. He's back on. You can see the reverse angle there. We're right behind Brady Rawlings. Dean Laidley's going to taste success in his first game as coach of the Kangaroos. The Roos out to a 20-point lead. 13-12-90 to 10-10-70. An insurmountable lead now.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And they just, again, they work the ball very, very well from their defensive zone. And Rawlings, who's played in the defensive half all day, was able to sneak down and create the space. Good finish. Brooks in the centre, tries to get it clear. Burke started well, has been quiet since quarter time. Now Sinclair kicks around the body, inside attacking 50. Wells couldn't keep his feet. Boundary throw in. 20-point margin. The Saints led by 12 points at quarter time. Kangaroos were able to hit back. They led by a point at half time. And then a very even third term saw St Kilda going into the final quarter 1 point in front. But it's been all the Kangaroos in this final term. 3-0. Brooks reaches over the top, gets it down. Simpson scrambles a kick towards the boundary line. Clark's happy just to see it over. So another boundary throw in. And he's been absolutely fantastic today. Xavier Clark, 9 marks, 19 disposals. The chance here for the Kangaroos. Deep in their forward pocket. About 5 players going up for the ruck contest. Hayes emerges. Around a couple, delivers towards Rewalt. Over his head, and again, as it's been for much of the quarter, the Kangaroos with numbers across the midfield. This time it's David King. Wheels around, wobbles it towards half forward. Now there's a bit of trouble behind play. King and Sinclair remonstrating, and it'll be paid downfield. Jason Blake just a touch late.
Yeah, a bit of frustration coming out of the St Kilda players now.
And the relayed free kick will be taken by Sav Rocker. He'll have no problems with the distance from about 50 metres. Rocker hasn't opened his account for season 2003. Let's see what he can do here. Beautiful kicking action. He's drilled it. Rocker kicks his first, and the Kangaroos their 4th of the final quarter. St Kilda haven't kicked a goal in this final term, and the margin is out to 26 points.
Well, really, they have struggled to find a forward, the Saints, but once again on the rebound here, set up by David King. Sab Rocker kicking his first goal of the day. Hasn't had a great day, but finishing off, and that's what he's required to do, kick goals, and that's his first one for season 2003.
He'll be better for the run too. Sav coming in pretty much underprepared. This is just his second outing for the Roos so far, and it's turned into a comfortable win for the Kangaroos. Certainly a bit misrepresentative of how close the contest has been, but it really hasn't been all that close since three-quarter time, because the Kangaroos were in attack for a long time at the start of this quarter. Didn't put the Saints away, but they have now. Lee Brown's enjoyed himself this afternoon with his new club. Harvey off the ground to centre half forward. Harding! Touched, said the umpire. Harding had to break loose. He loves it in the traffic. He spotted a couple away to the left. And this man just about best on ground, certainly for the second half. Shannon Grant. His total for the day will be 23 possessions. And if he kicks this goal, 2 goals too. But certainly since the major break, he's found a lot of the footy. Siren sounds. The Kangaroos take the 4 points from round 1 at the MCG. Shannon Grant, just to put the polish on the win, with a very ugly looking kick.
Didn't get
which
there.
Hasn't scored.
Some tired boys there. Hutto?
Absolutely. I guess it doesn't matter so much for the Roos. They've had a great win and they'll be well pleased. Final scores, the Kangaroos 14-12-96. St Kilda 10-10-70. The Saints managing just 4 goals after quarter time, and that really tells a fair bit about the way the game was played.
No doubt. Very even game, really, up until about the last 5 or 10 minutes of that quarter. But what a fantastic win by the Kangaroos. They grinded away. They weren't in terrific form early, but I think their hardness and their persistency right around the ground really did set up this win. And for St Kilda, well, I thought they played pretty well for 3 quarters. Maybe the bodies on their younger fellas didn't quite stand up to them, but they certainly got the rest of the season to look for.
Let's go to Brent Harvey with Christie.
Well, you got your shoes off already. Is it a relief to win the first game of the season?
Oh, it certainly is. I think it takes a little bit of pressure off. You know, you build up 6 months of pre-season training for this really one game. So we've won it now, so we can look forward to next week.
It was a tough game. I mean, you really had to fight for it. Do you feel like the team just backs themselves to win in those sorts of tight situations?
Oh, definitely. It's been like that for years now. You know, if we get within a few points with another team, we can really take it to another level, we think.
And what about yourself? Are you pleased with the way you've started the season?
No, not really. A little bit slow to start today, but I'll be training hard throughout the week and have a big one next week, I hope.
How's your nose?
That's good.
Thanks.
Thanks, Christie. Yes, Brent Harvey, not his best ever game today, but certainly he contributed. Simpson had 29 possessions, Rawlings, Robbins and Grant, the major possession winners for the Kangaroos, but Harvey with 20 got plenty on it. And the Kangaroos have won 14-12-96, defeating St Kilda 10-10-70. 26-point win to the Kangaroos. We're back shortly.
Just you wait and see.
Where's the coach? Here he is. Where's the coach? Boys, get some room. Okay, everyone hit the ball, please. Don't spectate.